France, dawn Friday, October 13th, 1307. In one coordinated strike, land and sealed letters opened simultaneously across the kingdom. Royal officers smashed through the doors of every Templar house in France. Thousands of knights of the most powerful religious order in Christendom are dragged from their beds and arrested in a single morning. Popular legend says our fear of Friday the 13th was born that day. What is not legend is why it happened. The Knights Templar were not destroyed because of heresy or secrets or the sins they would later confess under torture. They were destroyed because they had become something far more dangerous than warriors. They had become the bank, and their biggest debtor wore the crown of France. This is the original lesson in what happens when your borrower writes the laws. It began humbly around 1119, 9 knights vowing to protect pilgrims on the deadly roads to Jerusalem. Poverty, chastity, obedience. Their first seal showed 2 knights sharing 1 horse. But the Templars solved the problem that made them indispensable. The roads were death for anyone carrying money. And their solution changed civilization more than any battle they fought. Deposit your gold at the temple in London before departing. Receive a coded letter. Present it at the temple in Jerusalem, and withdraw your funds there. No coins on the road, nothing for bandits to steal. A medieval traveler's check, honored across 3,000 miles by an institution everyone trusted, because it answered to God and the Pope, and to no king at all. With one document, the warrior monks had invented international banking. Follow the logic of that invention, and everything else grows from it. To honor letters everywhere, you need houses everywhere. The Templars built a network of nearly 1,000 commanderies and castles from Scotland to Cyprus, a branch network 3 centuries before the Medici. Idle deposits became loans to merchants, to bishops, to kings. With the interest band we met in Florence dodged through fees and rents. Their vaults became the safest rooms in Europe. Kings of England stored crown jewels in the temple. The Paris temple became, in effect, the treasury of France itself, royal revenues flowing in and out through Templar ledgers. Freed from taxes by papal decree, armed, disciplined, and accountable to no crown, they were the first multinational corporation, and its business was money. Now enter the borrower. Philip IV of France, called the Fair for his face, not his methods, was magnificent, ambitious, and permanently broke. You've met his kind throughout this series. He fought wars he couldn't afford and paid for them the traditional ways. He debased his own coinage so aggressively his subjects called him the Counterfeiter King. Remember Rome. He seized the wealth of France's Jews and expelled them. Then the Italian bankers, each confiscation buying another season of solvency. and he borrowed massively from the one institution richer than he was, the temple. By 1307, the pattern was complete. A sovereign in desperate need, a creditor grown fat and arrogant within his borders, and a simple, terrible arithmetic. Destroying the bank was cheaper than repaying it. The operation was a masterpiece of state violence. Sealed orders to every royal officer in France opened the same dawn hour. The charges prepared in advance by the king's lawyers were engineered for the only court that could touch the Templars, heresy. Spitting on the cross, secret idols, unspeakable rites, confessions extracted by torture, many later recanted by men who then burned as relapsed heretics. The Pope, a Frenchman under Philip's shadow, wavered, protested, and folded, dissolving the order in 1312. The Templars' lands passed nominally to a rival order. Their treasure, conveniently, was already in royal custody, along with every record of what the king owed. The debts died with the bankers. That was always the point. The end came in March 1314 on an island in the Seine facing Notre Dame. Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master, an old man who had recanted his tortured confession, was burned at the stake, proclaiming the order's innocence through the flames. Legend says he summoned his persecutors to join him before God's tribunal within the year. Legend or not, the ledger closed eerily. The Pope was dead within a month, King Philip within the year, and Philip's 3 sons died in turn without male heirs, ending the dynasty and helping ignite the 100 Years' War. Historians shrug. Storytellers don't. Either way, the fortune itself vanished into fog, feeding 7 centuries of treasure hunts, secret society myths, and Friday superstitions. The best documented thing about the Templar treasure is who erased the paperwork. The Templar warning sign has outlived every castle they built. When your biggest debtor makes the rules, your collateral is his conscience. Lending to power is not banking, it's a wager that gratitude outweighs convenience. And this series has counted how often it does. Watch for it everywhere. Banks stuffed with their own government's bonds. Businesses with one client who writes the regulations, fortunes that exist at a ruler's pleasure. The Templars had castles, fleets, and the Pope, and none of it mattered on the Friday the king chose. Tomorrow, a currency backed by nothing but a war, and what happened to every note of it when the war was lost. A new fortune falls here every day. Subscribe.